Yesterday we were discussing about the topic of soul, who am I? And after we discussed the topic of soul, then the next come is as we discussed that soul is related to God, part and parcel of God, then who is God? Now we are on this topic today, that we are talking about religion, we are talking about God, but does God exist? Because there are various philosophies. I'm sure all of you may believe that God exists. Then is there a need to discuss this topic? How many of you believe that God exists? Please raise your hand. Okay, we go for the next day's topic. Isn't it? Anyway, all of you believe that what is the point in speaking that God exists? Yes, you do believe, but to strengthen your knowledge or to strengthen your faith or to give you some arguments which you can offer it to those who feel that God does not exist, we are going to discuss this today's topic. It will definitely strengthen your faith in God once again. So, yes, does God exist is the topic. As I was asking you this question, how many of you believe? One time a sadhu visited a village and the sadhu came. There were people, the entire village was sitting to hear his lecture, his pravachan, something about God. So he came, he sat down and he asked everyone, how many of you believe in God? So everyone raised the hand. Yes, all of us. So he got down and started walking off. So people said, what? We are here to hear about it. He said, anyway, all of you believe the God is there, so what is the point of my lecture? He just walked off. So second day organizers brought him again. And the organizers told all the villagers, this time if he asks this question, say we don't believe in God. So he sat on the Vyasasana again and he asked the same question. How many of you believe in God? Nobody raised their hand. They were all like sitting. He got down from the Vyasasana and started walking off. So people said, now what? He said, all of you are atheists. You don't believe at all. What will I tell you? I'm going. He went off. Third day, somehow organizers convinced him, no, please come. So he came and he sat down. And this time organizers were very careful. So they had told the people, if he asks this question, half of you raise your hand and half of you don't raise your hand. Okay? So because first time all of you raised, he walked off. Second time all of you raised, he walked off. Half. So he came and he sat down and he asked, how many of you believe in God? So half of them raised and half of them didn't. He got down from the Vyasasana and started walking. And the organizer says, now what? He said, those of you believe in God can tell the others. There's no need for me to do. So he just walked off. That was the reason when I came and I asked, how many of it? All of you raised your hand and I was thinking, should I walk off? Sometimes, yes, we say we believe in God, and many a times our faith shown in God is for various purposes. Like this person, there was a man, he never believed in God when he was in college and everything. So one day in the college, his friend saw him and he was wearing a nice tilak. A person who's atheist, why will he wear a tilak? So the friends asked, hey, what happened to you? You never believed in God. And today we are seeing you with tilak and all. What happened to you? What brought this change? He said, nothing here. The campus interviews are going on. And I heard the person who came to interview, he's a devotee. So I just need to impress him that, I'm also a devotee. And that's the reason I'm wearing this tilak. Right? So sometime we say we believe in God just to impress some people. Or sometime, like this person, there was a office was being opened. So the person initially he was an atheist. He didn't believe in God. But when it came to opening of his office, so he called, some pujari, did some havan, so and had photos of God. So his friends asked, what happened? Why is it on the opening day of office you have? He said, see, I'm going to start a new business, isn't it? I still don't believe in God. But suppose God is there anywhere, let him also be satisfied. At least my business will run. So people have various reasons for believing in God. So maybe for job, maybe for money or anything. So of course, some of us do believe that God is there. Now, can we have some reasons? Why do you believe? All of you said you believe in God. So why do you believe in God? Just because somebody told you, or what is it? Any of you? Why do you believe in God? Okay, thank you. We have some needs and we want it to be fulfilled. Right? Thank you. God is our order carrier. We give a list like we give it to the grocery store, and then we provide to the God, and then God should fulfill. We have some needs. This is the reason people believe in God. We have some needs and we need to fulfill it. Yes, very nice. Any other reason? Thank you. Yes. Very nice. There are a lot of things going on in the universe, but Earth is being protected. So why is it being protected? There is someone who is protecting us. So that we got. That means first reason to provide for our needs. Second reason we believe in God because there is some protection. We are still alive. So that means after death we will not believe in God. Do we? Protection. Any other reason? You were saying something?
Universe is running, there are so many things happening. So there must be some supreme power behind it.
Universe is running, everything is happening. Yes, there must be some supreme power. Okay. Any reasons for yes? Out of fear. Is it your personal reason or you're just giving a philosophy? I'm telling you personal reason. What is your personal? Do you believe in God? Why do you believe in God? It has been taught. Very nice. It has been taught to us, right? When we were children, parents said, stand here, fold your hands, close your eyes, and then they'll say something, Jai Jagadish Hare, and we are just standing, right? I remember when I was a kid, we used to have puja on Deepavali day. I mean, we used to have every day, but special puja on Deepavali day. And and especially that puja was late night. Somehow in our family, we used to do it late night. And we as kids were always waiting, when this puja will be over. So we get some sweets and we get crackers and go and play, right? That was our only concern. But yes, we were made to stand, right? Very good. So we are told that there is God, so we believe. Any other reason? Very nice, good reasons. Yes. You have some hope. Yes, there is some hope. So I feel that hope, whatever desires I have, will be fulfilled by God. So I have hopes and they are going to be fulfilled. So definitely God is there. Otherwise, who can fulfill my hope? Very nice. Any other? Yes. We have scriptures which inform us, yes, that is also a good reason. That is why we believe. Okay, and you said fear, right? That we are fearful. Something will happen, right? I'm going daily to the temple before going to the office. And one day I'm late, I forget, I don't go to the temple, I go directly to the office. And that day I get the news I made a loss of few lakh rupees. See? Isn't it? Fear. Actually, this is true. People believe in God or people worship God. The first reason for them is fear. We are fearful, right? Something will happen if I don't go to God. I remember there is a place near Shirdi called Shani Shingnapur, right? I was in school, I studied in Bombay, so we were in school, maybe about 9th or 10th standard, I don't remember. So some of us friends, we went to Shirdi and we went to Shingnapur, Shani Shingnapur also. That was our first time and we were hearing about it. There are no doors and, very nice place, etc. So we went there, we went in a vehicle. So the driver was there and we were told that you have to take bath before you go inside. So go and take bath. So all of us had money, chains, watches. So we removed everything. We kept it in a place and then we kept it inside the vehicle and we told the driver, be very careful, lock it. He said, what are you talking? You are in Shingnapur. So I said, still we are here. We are in India. He said, no, you can keep it here on the stone. So you see, we were from Bombay, Bombay, you keep thing here, turn and then you don't find your bag. And then, at least that time, I don't know what is the situation now, but in our time it was like that. And then he's telling, just keep it on the stone and that too, money, chain. We knew when we go back, parents. So then, but anyway, he was so insisting and he said, if you lose anything, I will pay from my pocket. I'm guaranteeing you, keep it here. So when he said so strongly, we said, okay, we just kept everything and we went. We went around, saw there were godowns and there were houses, but they didn't have doors. The godowns were there full of grains, etc., other things, but no doors, shops didn't have. So wow, very nice. Then after all that, we came back, our things were there, we took. Before that, when I was just going around, there was an old man, I asked him, what is it? Why people are staying like this? Why there are no doors, etc.? He said, nobody can steal in this area. I said, why? What will happen if you steal? In fact, to be very frank, I'm admitting I had a desire that day. Let me steal something today. Let's see. Just what will happen? Let's see. But then I asked him, why is it? He said, if anyone steals in this area, he'll not be able to go out. Either he will die or he will become mad, but he will not be able to go out of this area. And at that time, when I was not even a devotee, I told him, "Itna daraoge, to kaun chori karega?" Right? If you say all these things, even the thief will think, "Yeah, forget it. Why do you will do it outside?" Right? So the first reason for people is fear. Out of fear, they do it. And the fear is created. So many things come up. Let me give you another example of fear before we go ahead. I was very young, a small child. We were staying in Mumbai. And all my friends were bringing Ganapati. So we don't have that tradition in our family to bring Ganapati because we are not Maharashtrians, so we don't follow all this. So all my friends were bringing, so I also had a desire. I went to my father and I said, I want to bring Ganapati. My father said, what? We don't do that. Why do you want to do it? I said, no, I want. Then my father said, okay, if you want, you only bring it. And you only do the seva, whatever, how many days you want? I said for 11 days, full, not even 1 day. Like kids, I had a lot of enthusiasm. I said 11 days. So he said, you will only have to do puja, everything. We will not do anything. We'll just stand. Are you ready? I said, yes, I'll do it. So we brought on first year and I did the decoration, I did the puja, everything. For 11 days I went for Visarjan. Second year, by the time third year came, my enthusiasm was down, like every time you have to get it, you have to do puja. See, I was a kid. It was, every day you have to stand and do puja. I was not so interested, right? So then, third year I asked, should we stop bringing? So my father said, I told you first only. Why did you bring, why did you start? So then we started inquiring with the others, okay, we started bringing, can we stop it now? We'll say, no, you have to bring it for 11 years minimum. Otherwise, there is problem. Now I got scared. For 11 years, I'll have to do. And then I said, no, there must be something. Like, I didn't want to do it. But then people got scared me so much. For 11 years, you'll have to bring minimum. Then you can stop. Where is it mentioned? Who made that rule? Right? There's no rule like that. But scared. So, the first factor for people is fear. The second factor for people to worship or believe in God is desires, fulfill our needs. We have our needs. We are getting things. If we want something, we can go to God, right? So maximum, these are the two reasons by which people approach God. Either fear or desire, right? Like you see every Monday, there's a long queue in Shivji's temple, right? With a long list. The young boys come, the young girls come. The boys want a beautiful wife, the girls want a handsome husband. So they have an application. Poor Shivji, as if he has opened a marriage bureau. So, he's taking applications of, okay, I want to... All the desires, right? We want money, we want something, let this happen, let that happen. So that is another reason for people. And very few people do it out of sense of duty. It's my duty to worship God. And very rarely people believe or worship God out of love. But the best way to worship God is out of love. We worship God because we love Him. That's all. Not that we are fearful, not that we feel we have some desire, we just love Him. That is called real love. Real love means where there is no expectation. Real love means where we are ready to give. That is real love. In this world, the love which we see always has expectations. As long as my expectations are being fulfilled through you, I love you. The day my expectations are not being fulfilled, like Kansa. Devaki was Kansa's sister. And for 2 months, Kansa was preparing for the wedding of Devaki. He did all the arrangements, where people will stay, what will be the menu, who will cook, where will be served, everything he did it. And after the marriage also, he told the charioteer, get down, I will drive the chariot. So he became a driver. I'll take my sister. Such love he had. And as soon as he heard that the 8th child of Devaki will kill you, Kansa, he immediately took out his sword and wanted to kill the same sister whom he was showing such love. Expectations. So we should worship God out of love. So anyway, we believe in God, you gave some of the reason. Now, there are people who don't believe in God. And what are the arguments they give if they don't believe in God? There are people like, do you meet have you met anyone? There are so many, right? They'll say, why are you going to temple? What is this? You speak about God and all. Everything is in hard work. Yeah. Don't be escapist. Hard work will bring everything, right? One businessman was asked once that in hard work and luck or fate, how much percentage you give to both for achieving success? He said 90%, 99% to hard work, only 1% to fate. So people believe that you do hard work, you will get it. Yes, you are supposed to do hard work. But those who are doing hard work, it's not necessarily that they will achieve success. Right? There are so many people who are doing hard work, but they don't achieve success. Talk about students. They study so hard and still they don't get more than 60% or 70%. And then they see the other boy who's enjoying, watching movies, going here and there, and when you see the result, 92%. Wow, what is it? Right? So we need both. We need to have hard work, Definitely, without hard work, you cannot achieve success. But at the same time, you need to have mercy of God also. So many times people don't believe in God. What are the arguments they give? There is no proof of His existence. How can you prove He exists? Right? Show me if He is there. That is the first argument they give. Or if you cannot show me, then God doesn't exist. And they say, their argument is that you are saying God is there, and then you say God is Father for everyone. That's what you say, right? If He is Father, why is He allowing His children to suffer? Just go out on the street. You will see. People are suffering. They don't have things to eat. They cannot eat. They don't have place to stay. Poverty is there. Diseases are there. People are dying. There are earthquakes. Where is God? What is He doing? Why is He allowing His children to die like that? This is the question, and it's a good argument, isn't it? One time a person was sitting at a barber's shop, in the shaving. So the barber, generally when you go to barber's shop, it's always, there is some conversation goes on, he'll be on politics or this and that. So this person, he's told him, sir, God does not exist. So he said, what? How can you say that? He said, go and see outside. People are suffering. They're dying of hunger. They're dying of disease. So if God was there, why will this happen to them? So God doesn't exist, I believe, because of this. So this person couldn't argue. He went out. After some time he came back. And he said, you know what? He said, what? He said, in this world, barbers do not exist. He said, what? Barbers? I'm here. How are you saying barbers do not exist? How can you say that? He said, go out and see. So many people are with long beard, right? They are not shaven properly with long hair. That proves that barbers do not exist. He said, what a foolish statement. People are with long beard and long hair. It doesn't mean barbers do not exist. If they don't come to me, how will I shave them? He said, that's it. That is the answer. You say that people are suffering, people are having problem, and there is no God. But if they don't go to God, how will God serve them? Why don't you believe it? When you believe a small thing. Like this, people actually give various arguments. And not only that, sometimes they want to impose their thoughts on others, especially when they're in a position like teachers, yes, or boss. If you are a boss in a company and you want people to become atheist, you'll see to it that as soon as somebody is following, you say, hey, this is all foolishness. And because you are a boss, no one can tell you anything, isn't it? Or you are a teacher. Like one time, a teacher in the school, she wanted all her students to know that God does not exist. So she called one of the students, and the boy was standing here. And she said, do you see this light? He said, yes. Do you see the fan? She said, yes. He said, please go out and come back again. So he went out. He said, did you see sun? He said, yes. Did you see God? The boy said, no, I didn't. He said, I will explain you. You see light because light is there. You see fan because fan is there. You see sun because sun is there. You don't see God because God is not there. Very simple, isn't it? Now the boy believed it. Yes, the teacher is saying. So he went. Then there was a small girl in the student. She came. Maybe she belonged to some nice devotee family. So she came and she stood and she said, Madam, I want to ask the same question to the boy again. So teacher was very happy. Once more it will be confirmed. So she said, okay, call the boy again. Boy stood. She said, do you see light? Now boy was irritated. What is it? Said, yes, I see. Do you see fan? Yes, I see. Go out. Then he went out. Did you see sun? He said, yes. Okay, last two questions. Do you see teacher's face? He said, yes, I do. do you see teacher's brain? And the boy said, no. She said, I will explain you. You see light because light is there. You see fan because fan is there. You see teacher's face because teacher's face is there. You don't see teacher's brain because... Very simple. So people gave various logics just to deny the existence of God. So today we are going to see what is the proof of existence of God and also what is definition of God. So these are the two topics which we discuss. Now let's see proof for existence of God. We are going to discuss 4 different proofs. One in terms of creator, then we will discuss in terms of lawmaker, order and design, and demands and urges. Let's see. When we see these things, anything, any machine or something, can you name some of inventors for some of these things? Huh? Sure? Acha. Oh yes, you're right. You get full marks. Okay, Graham Bell. And then this, locomotive engines. Children? Yes. Oh, I know it is train, thank you. I said, who invented it? Huh? Thank you, yes, James Watt. James Watt, he invented. Very nice. Who said this? Oh, are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? Oh, you studied that, okay. I was scared because if he said I am a teacher, I just said something about the teacher, so. Okay, telescope. Anyone? This everyone knows. Okay, Galileo. And bulb? Thomas Edison. Oh, all of you are very intelligent. So now what we see is that all these things cannot come automatically, right? Because somebody has invented it. And now we see this creation, right? We see planets moving or so many things which we see in this universe. Can they come on their own? And we know there is sun, there is earth, there is so many planets, other planets. So can they come on their own when a small thing like bulb you cannot have without inventor? Then such a big bulb which is there, sun, how can it be there without inventor? Right? We say that can come. So what theory the science gives is Big Bang. Right? All of us studied. When even I was studying that, I was wondering how can it happen, but then I had no choice and then to write in the exams, yes, Big Bang theory, right? But now I can boldly say it's all bogus. How can Big Bang? Like we made this temple here, it took us such effort. If as per Big Bang theory, we should have brought a bomb, right? We want a beautiful temple to come up, bring a bomb, explode it, there'll be a big bang, and then, lo and behold, there'll be very nice temple coming up, right? Why take all that effort if everything comes by Big Bang, right? So Big Bang theory, this is what say. But even suppose you accept that Big Bang theory, somebody has to do that bang, na? Somebody has to be there to plant that bomb or to do whatever is there. Somebody is needed. How it can happen on its own? And if it had happened on its own, why it's not happening now? What happened? Now it's created, now it will not happen. There are so many flaws in that theory. Like they say that nothing was there. Universe was created by Big Bang. But where will be the bang? Where will bang happen? There has to be some time, some space. So that means before the Big Bang, time and space was there already. If it was there, that means universe was there. Simple things. Anyway, on scientific basis, we can give many arguments giving the flaws of this theory, which people say Big Bang theory. But in general, logically, if we agree, now you see here, the building. With the bang, what happens? Destruction or creation? Have you ever seen anything with Big Bang and some creation? You have a bomb exploding in 1945, I think, in Japan, Nagasaki, Hiroshima. When was it? 45? Huh? So there was a bomb exploded, and after that, what happened? Beautiful Japan came up, right? No, I heard even today they have the effect of that bomb, right? Radiations. Even today, people are born disabled and so many other things. So, Big Bang or bang can bring only destruction. So that we have to understand. But there is always a confusion about creator and creation. Always. You see, in the name of religion, this one word, religion, is really, you should say, so confused. People are so confused with this. They will have proofs for every other thing, but when it comes to religion, they have so many confusion because there are so many theories. There are there are religions which say there is no creator, there is no controller, but they are religion. There is no controller, there is no creator. Whom are you worshipping? So when we talk of creator and creation, there is a lot of confusion. There is no clarity. Of course, clarity is there in the scriptures. We don't approach the scriptures properly and we don't get the information. But one thing is very clear, that it cannot come just with a bang. So creation is there, which implies a creator has to be there. Even for a small flower. Now here you see beautiful flower. Can they come on their own? We're talking of huge universe. Forget about huge universe. A small flower. Beautiful flower. When you see a flower, you feel so nice. And sometimes flowers are of various colors and designs and everything. So wherever you see creation, creator has to be there. How creation can happen without creator? Somebody has to do it, right? One time I was talking at one place and somebody said, now we have remote operated cars, so we don't need drivers. Cars can go without drivers. I said, yes, but somebody has to program, somebody has to on the remote, right? It cannot happen on its own. You need human intervention at any stage. It's not possible to have it without human intervention. Even your cars, you can have remote control cars, but who will make it? You need a creator for that. Right? Can they just come with the rains? It's raining and then one day you see that cars are pouring down, thak in your houses and somewhere else, right? You need a creator. Simple thing. The second thing, lawmaker. Now when you see the rules and regulations, like when you drive a car, aren't there rules or regulations? Or you can drive as you like? No, there are rules and regulations, and somebody has made it, or they have just appeared. One day the rain was very heavy, and then some books came by that, and then we collected it and made it into law book. Somebody made it, right? Or train rules, when we go there are rules for train, anything. So when we see nature, such nice laws are there. So now we see laws are there when you go for driving or in the train or plane, everywhere. Now let's talk about nature. Are there laws in nature? Give me some example of laws of nature which you see. Seasons are coming, yes. That is a law, right? Now we are in winter. Of course, Bombay doesn't experience winter or summer. For Bombay, everything is same. But let's say we are in winter and we know that after this, summer will come. After that, rains will come. We already know it, right? And it's going on. It's not going to change. It's not possible that maybe coming year, first the rains will come. They will go on for 4 months and then summer will start. No, it's natural. It's going on, right? So rules are there. Any other rules? Seasons. Very nice. Seeds and plants and trees. Yes. Such nice rule is there that you plant a seed, then there will be a plant and then it will turn into a tree. Very good. Any other natural laws? Day and night, yes. Any other? Birth and death, yes, that's also natural law. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. One who has taken birth has to die. And one who dies has to take birth again. So so we see so many like this. There are laws in nature which are going on very nicely. Even if you talk in terms of planets, you see when you're talking about traffic, has to be a traffic police, who controls all the things. Now, such a nice way, the laws are there in the planetary systems that all the planets are floating very nicely in a perfect control mechanism. So, who is the one who's controlling them? And then we see in this world also very nice laws, like physics. We see laws. We see laws of mechanics. We see laws of mathematics. Everything is perfect, right? Now, all these laws and the laws of the nature, who has given? When you talk of law, there has to be a lawmaker. So, lawmaker. So, who's the creator? The first we talk is if there is creation, there has to be creator. Then who can be the creator? God. Then we talk of law, natural laws, lawmaker. That means there. And when we talk of order and design, you see in nature, very nice order and design has been created. Now, do you know what is this animal called? Giraffe. How many of you have seen him from very close? Not on TV. Oh, very nice. Have you been to Africa or we see it here? Oh, zoo. Okay, zoo. Yeah, we saw it very closely and then they started running. So, a giraffe has very nice order and design. It has longest neck so it can survive. It has a heart which is 11 kg, 2 feet long, and then spongy tissues which are fit for his body. So his body is made in a perfect design. Or if we see some others like this bird. Now we just saw the heart weight of the heart. Now here is a bird. It flies 1,000 miles every year. Such a small. Flaps wings 75 times per second, total 6 million wing beats, and weighs only 3 grams. 3 grams. Can you imagine? Because the giraffe has to be there on the ground and the bird has to fly. If bird will be 10 kg, how will it fly, right? So just 3 grams. So there is some order and design. Somebody knew that for flying this is required. Or let's take, what is this? All of you are very intelligent. So let's take camel. The camel has to live in desert, right? Of course, we keep them in zoo. That is a different issue. And because then you can see, otherwise you can't see, isn't it? But camel should stay in zoo. It can live without water for 8 days. How many of you can live without water for 8 days? So without water for 8 days, no problem. Because in desert you don't get water. So that is why his body has been designed. He has transparent eyelids. Eyelids are transparent because when they are in the desert and the storms are there, he can see. So eyelids are there, but they are transparent. 130 liters at a time it can take water. 130 liters. If you have a 500-liter tank, 2 times he will drink, 3 times it's all over, 3-4 times, right? Why? Because then it can store. That's how it can go on for 8 days. So at a time, 130 liters. In how many days we drink? We drink how many per day? We drink what? 3 liters? 2 or 3 liters, right? So that means 130 liters means how many days? Almost a month, right? Or not a month? 40 days, almost 40 days. 40 days and he just drinks it at a time. But his body is made. And long legs so that he can walk in the desert very easily. Otherwise, it's very difficult to walk in the desert. So this is just to show that, the designs are perfect in nature, order and design. So now somebody has to put his brain to do all these things. one time I was talking to someone, I spoke something about scientists, and this boy was not happy, and he said, how can you say things like this about scientists? You see, they need there is so much brain is required for them to do discoveries. They are doing discoveries, they have discovered this, they have discovered that. Don't you think the brain is required? I said, thank you very much. That's what I'm saying. That if for discovering the things, brain is required, then don't you think the brain is required to manufacture the things? Scientists are only discovering. Isn't it? What is the meaning of discovering? Things are already there. They have just discovered, okay, this is there in the nature. This is there in the nature. But why don't you think that if just for discovering the thing you need brain, then to make those things, how much brain is required? Right? Discovery is okay. I just go and sometimes they discovered just like that, right? A person is lying in the bathtub and eureka, he just gets things right. So, of course, I don't mean that he doesn't have brain. I'm just saying like that. So, don't you think that the brain is required? So, similarly, order and design proofs. So, these are all proofs that God exists. Now, let's talk about urges. The urges that we feel. What are the urges that we feel? Thirst. Right? We feel thirsty. That is one of the urge. Hunger. That is one of the urge. So with that also we can understand that God exists. How? Like when you feel thirsty, why do you feel thirsty? You tell me. Any idea? Why do we feel thirsty? All of you feel thirsty? Why do you feel thirsty? Okay, low water in the body. So what is the solution? Okay, so your urge is for what? For water. So if you have an urge of thirsty, you have thirsty or thirst, that means there has to be water. If suppose there was no water, there was nothing called water, will you still feel thirsty? Yes or no? Sure? Yes, if there was no water, why will we feel thirsty? Thirst means water has to be there, isn't it? Or let's talk about hunger. What does hunger, when you have hunger, what is required for it to be satisfied? Food. Suppose there was no food. Will you still feel hungry? Yes. For what? If there was no food, what will you feel hungry for? Nut and bolts? Machines? We feel hungry because we need something for energy, right? That energy generally comes by food. Of course, in future we may have it by tablets, I don't know. But as of now we eat. Like, in future I'm sure there will be a tablet for rice. Take this. Like, previously there was only milk. Now we have milk powder. Isn't it? Just mix it, you have milk powder ready. I'm sure in future we will advance and the day will come when there will be tablets or capsules, right? This is a dal capsule and this is a rice capsule. Just take that, finish, you don't require anything else. I hope that time doesn't come because I like eating food. So anyway, when you are hungry, that means there is food. Similarly, we all have an urge to worship. We may worship God, we may worship someone else, but we always have an urge to worship, to glorify some higher personality. Worship means what? Worship means to glorify some higher personality. Like in the times when Hitler was there, people were worshipping him. There were people who were worshipping Hitler. Can you imagine? So it's just a tendency, it's an urge to worship or to glorify. So when you have an urge of thirst, that means water has to be there, hunger, food has to be there, worship, God has to be there. Otherwise, who will be worshipped? So these are some of the arguments which prove that God does exist. Now, we definitely would like to go on the definition of God. Do you have any questions before we go on the definition of God? for whatever we have heard. Any questions? Okay. So tomorrow, today we are going to discuss this definition of God, and then tomorrow we will discuss who's God. At the same time, although there are so many religions, isn't that question comes to mind that, if there is one God or many God? If there is one God, there should be one religion. If there is many God, then how can you say that God means supreme? Then there should be like a body of gods. We should not say God, it's like a body of gods or a committee of gods, right? But we don't say that, we say there is only one God. So we'll answer that question also. Now, what is the definition of God? Let's see. It is very interesting that many times people have their own definitions of God. Some people say God is light. Some people say God is love. Some people say God is nature. So many. I don't know, you may have heard more. Any more theories? Have you heard? God is energy. Yes. Anything else? Like this. Various. Just because we don't have knowledge. And this is our own speculation. Sometimes people say, I find God in poor people. My God is in poor people. Which is good. You want to serve poor people. But these are different conception of people. And sometimes, if they don't find anything, they say, God is dead. Various philosophies are going on. Sometimes people say God is dead, or sometimes they say I am God. So there was a philosopher, Nietzsche. So he wrote on the walls of the church that God is dead, and he signed it below that, signed by Nietzsche, a German philosopher. And then after some time, he died. Obviously, a philosopher will not survive for a long time. He died. So people wrote on the wall of the church, Nietzsche is dead, signed by God. So people have this philosophy, God is dead. And this is a philosophy of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, when he was there, Hiranyakashipu? Any of you remember? Where is he staying? Mira Road or Dahisar, Bhainder? Where does he stay? So when he was looking for Vishnu, he was going around everywhere because Vishnu has killed my brother, Hiranyaksh. I will kill him. So he was looking for him and he didn't find him. He went everywhere, he couldn't find Vishnu. And finally he declared, it looks like because of my fear, Vishnu has gone to the place from where no one returns. That is, he is dead. So this is the philosophy of Hiranyakashipu, where people say that God is dead. And of course, beyond this, some people will say, you are God. And I can make you God if you give me $5,000 or whatever, right? Such foolish things that, you are God, I am God. And people, not only that, they have their own definition of God, right? So when they worship God also, they worship for various purpose, isn't it? They are worshipping God. Like here you can see, I don't want to speak that, but anyway. So they worship God for various reasons, right? This foolishness is going on because we do not have an understanding of the clear definition of God. Who is God? And that is the reason, because we don't take knowledge properly, we get cheated. Most of us who wish to achieve God, we come to some path. Somebody tells us, okay, this is the way you can achieve God. God is this. And we start following. And after a long time, we realize we were wrong. And then what happens? We just reject everything. Said it's all bogus. There's no God. Who has seen God? Right? Nobody. Any of you have experienced that your dear ones died and then after some days came back to you again, explained, yes, I saw God. This is how God looks like, right? Any of them? We don't have, we don't believe. But I'm telling you, the experiences of the world makes you believe that God is there. God exists. Let me tell you a nice story. There is a famous doctor in Gujarat, Baroda. He has a lot of places he does. He's a heart surgeon. And he is about 60 years old and 60. So he narrated this, the incident which happened in his life, that he has about 200 doctors working under him. He doesn't see any case directly. First the juniors will see, and if required it goes to him. He just sees and then he performs the operation. Because you can imagine he's been doing it for 40 years. So for him, heart operation is not a big thing, right? Somebody who's doing for 40 years, practically he cuts 8 to 10 hearts every day, on the operation table. So he was narrating that a file came to him of a 6-year-old girl, 6 year. And he saw the file was seen by his juniors and finally came to him. He saw the file and he said it was very clear it was a hopeless case. So still the parents wanted to meet him. So next day they came to meet him. He met them and he said, you have 2 options. One, let the girl be as it is and she will survive for 2 or 3 months and then she will die. Other option is go for operation immediately, tomorrow itself. But there are only 30% chances that she will survive the operation. That means she will die on the operation table itself, 70% chances are. So now you decide. You want to see her for 2-3 months, or you want to take a chance and go for operation and possible that after that you'll never see her again. Parents believed in God. So they said, we will go for operation. So doctor said, okay, we have to do it tomorrow itself, prepare everything. She was admitted and the preparation started. And in the hospital, the mother was always speaking to the child about God. Yes, God has their stories about God. And then what happened is the operation time came. The girl was brought and this doctor was getting ready, wearing that green gown, everything. So this small girl, 6-year-old girl, she asked doctor, I have a question. So doctor thought she's feeling scared, maybe because operation and all. So he said, don't worry, child, nothing is ill. It'll be very easy, you won't get any pain. She said, no, I'm not asking about that. I have a question, can I ask? So he said, okay, ask. She said, I heard that you are going to cut open my heart. Is it right? So now doctor thought, now she's scared, So he said, beta, don't worry. It'll be very smooth. You won't feel the pain, etc. She said, I'm not saying about the pain, but is it right that you are going to cut open my heart? So he said, yes, I'm going to do that. She said, I have a request. I have heard that God resides in heart. God is there in heart. So when you cut open my heart, please see how he looks like. Right? Such a small child, right? Very innocent way she said, please see how the God looks like, and after the operation, please tell me. So the doctor, when he heard this, he was brought to tears because he knew that the girl may not survive. But anyway, he controlled and he said, okay, let's go for the operation. So then they went for the operation. Operation started. 45 minutes into the operation, not a single drop of blood came to the heart. All the arteries were blocked. So after 45 minutes of operation, when nothing was happening, the doctor said, okay, pack up, stitch again. We could not save the girl. She died. So then he said, pack up. And then he came out and the nurse was about to, because when they do the operation, all the blood and all this, so they cannot do it. So nurse was helping him to take off the coat, etc. At that time, he remembered the words of that girl, 6-year-old girl. She said, when you cut open my heart, see God and let me know how He looks like. So at that time, although he had been performing operations for many, he was in tears thinking about that girl. And at that time, for the first time in his life, he prayed to God. He said, she believes that you are there. She said, she was very confident. She didn't say to doctor that if you cut open, see whether God is there or no. She said, just tell me how He looks like. That she was confident that God is there. So he said, she believes that you are there. I have utilized all my skills, all my experience, whatever I knew, my knowledge, I have utilized everything and it's zero now. I could not save her. But she believes that you are there. And if you are there, you can do something. And he said that, and he was about to leave, that a junior doctor shouted from inside, "Sir, blood has started coming." He could not believe. And then he went again he wore and he went, rushed inside. And 4 hours after that operation was performed, for 4 hours. And after that he declared, now for 60 years, her heart is going to be healthy. Nothing can happen to her heart for 60 years. And she survived. And he saw that. Now, operation was done. The girl was there. He said, a very nice statement. He said, I'm very scared to go to that girl now. I said, why? Why are you so scared? He said, operation is successful, right? He should be happy. He said, I'm happy, but the girl will ask me, did you see God? How does He look like? What answer will I give? I cannot say I didn't see God. I cannot say, because He saved her. I saw God. But how will I describe her that I saw God? And after that, this doctor, the famous doctor, he has put Lord's photo in his hospital, in the operation theater. And before every operation, he first goes to the Lord and says, I am no one. I know nothing. If you want, you will save this person. Otherwise, my skills, my knowledge, and my experience cannot do anything. So you see, just a 6-year-old girl made this doctor, 60-year-old doctor, believe in God. So we can, by our experiences in life, we can see God. So this is, but many people, because they don't have proper knowledge of God, they reject God. Or they have their own version of God. They create God. It is not that this, whatever we are saying, that God is light, it's all created. Because people in these times, they have a very, we can say, lot of interest in creating something new. Right? Something new should come up. In every field, they want something new. And similarly in spirituality, in God, they want to create something new. Because if they say something new, people will follow. When we say God, same thing from the scriptures, people say, oh, we have heard this from our childhood. But somebody else comes and say that this is the mountain and I can show you that by blowing up this mountain, God will come. People will follow. So why is this? Because we want to see something new. So definition of God is very clearly explained in the scriptures. And if you will remember, on the first day, we spoke about scriptures, that how important it is for us to know spirituality. The only way is scriptures. So that scripture says that God means He is the supreme source, He is the supreme proprietor, He is the supreme enjoyer, and He is the supreme controller of everything. So by definition, what is the definition of God? Supreme proprietor, supreme source, supreme proprietor, supreme enjoyer, and supreme controller. That is God. Now let's try to understand this. When we say supreme source or supreme father, right? Source means from everything is coming from him. Like, say in our family, we say his father, then grandfather, and then his father, and his father, and his father. If you keep on going behind, where will you stop? Some place where there is full stop. After that, nothing, right? Some source from where everything is coming. So by definition, God means someone from whom everything comes. He is the source of everything. Like father is the source of son, but then father also has a source. But then ultimately you have to reach, because you cannot just go on. So when you reach the dead end, beyond this, no source, he is the source of everything. That is God. So that is supreme source. Then, yes, supreme source also can be understood by this small example that many times people ask this: which comes first? Chicken or egg or hen, right? Or chicken. So what is it? What comes first? You tell me. Hen. Where does it come from? Oh, God creates, okay. He couldn't create egg? Sorry? Oh, there were no ones to hatch. Okay. Very nice. So this philosophy that which comes first, or seed or plant, which comes first? Plant or seed? Where will the seed come from? How will the seed come if there are no plants and no fruits? Where does the seed come from? Plants? And where will the plant come from? Seeds?
But it's not only the seed that is needed for a plant to grow.
Yes.
It needs a land also. So
Yes, but if you have land, if you have water, everything, and there is no seed, will the plant come? Yes. So, our question is, okay, land is there, water is there, but what comes first, seed or plant? Plant? Okay, this is going on, right? People keep on, some say seed, some say plant, because if plant cannot come without seed and seed cannot come plant. So this is explained, that is why supreme source, that the source of all the seeds or all the plants is God. Like he said, okay, God created it. Finished. So that there is no question of seed. So God gives the seed. And then the plants, and then the seed and the plant, etc. But God is the source, the first source of everything. That is called supreme source. Then supreme proprietor. Right? We have so many things, right, in this world. And we come and we take the land, we take the flat. After some time we die, we go away. Somebody comes and another person claims that flat and he takes. But what happens is that people come, people claim, and they go away. The land remains there, right? Who is the proprietor of that real proprietor? Because if you are the real proprietor, then name should not change just by going to sub-registrar office, isn't it? So, where is it? I mean, how is it possible that a supreme proprietor can be anyone else? Everything comes from God. Now we have land already, which we are claiming it is ours. But then who created that land? Who's the actual proprietor? Like this cloth I'm wearing, I can say I bought it. This is mine. But then if you go and find out where was it created, where was it made, or what was the raw material used, where did the raw material come from, then you finally go to God. So everything, so He is the proprietor of everything. He is also the supreme enjoyer. Like in a hotel, two kinds of people enjoy. One who's the owner, and the second who are the employees, right? They also get the same facility. Like suppose you have a very posh car, very costly car, right? With all the systems inside, with nice AC, nice sound system, everything. So you enjoy that while you are sitting behind, but at the same time, the driver also enjoys, isn't it? Sometimes he enjoys better than us. When we are 3, 4, we have to sit like this, but if the driver, you cannot tell him two people will sit there, right? So he enjoys. So the owner cannot say, hey, I am the owner, I am using the AC. You put on the blanket, you don't use the AC or something like that. Or you close your ears, you don't hear the music. Drivers enjoy similarly. But the primary enjoyer or primary owner is the owner of the car. Similarly, God is the supreme enjoyer, independent enjoyer. He doesn't require anything of this world to enjoy. But we are dependent enjoyer. Unless we have things from God, how will you enjoy? Isn't it? Can you think of anything that you can enjoy without God? Without God giving you anything. What are the enjoyments we take? Eating, food. Who is giving you food? Can you prepare it in a factory? Can you put a factory of manufacturing rice? It will come from land, right? And then whose land is this? Many times we think that everything we are doing. One time the scientists declared that, okay, we can make our own man. We don't require God. So God said, very nice, thank you, make your own man. He said, we will show you, we will make man. He said, okay. Then they started making. So they took the mud and they were about to create a form. The Lord said, wait. He said, what? He said, get your own mud. Get your own mud, right? You want to create and you want to take everything from me. Get your own mud. So you see, we are in this position, we cannot have our own mud and then we still claim proprietorship and controllership or enjoyership of everything. So God is supreme enjoyer and He is also the supreme controller. He owns everything, He controls everything. Like one time, Akbar and Birbal, these stories you have heard many times. So people in the assembly, they were glorifying Akbar, all of them, all the ministers. And Birbal was just keeping quiet. So everyone was glorifying and finally Badshah looked at Birbal. Yes, Birbal, what happened? You are not saying anything in my honor? So Birbal said, what can I say, Jahapana? You are so great. You're so great. You're so great. You're greater than God. Now this was too much, right? Everyone understands, right? Like if somebody comes and glorifies you, if it is in limit, you understand. But if he crosses limit, then you understand something wrong. So Badshah looked at him. What did you say? How can I be greater than God? He said, yes, you are greater than God. Badshah said, Birbal, prove it, otherwise I'll cut off your head if you don't prove it. He said, I can prove it. He said, prove. He said, you can do, Jahapana, something which God cannot do. Now this was another shock for Barbara. First he says, you're greater than God. And then he says, you can do something which God cannot do. He said, Birbal, what is it that I can do and God cannot do? He said, Jahapana, you can throw out any person from your kingdom. Any person you can throw out of your kingdom. God cannot do it. And Akbar didn't understand. What is the meaning? He said, yes, God cannot do it. You can do it. Why? Birbal was saying, you have limitations, right? Your kingdom is limited. You can throw out any person from your kingdom. Where will God throw? Everything belongs to God. Everything belongs to God. So where will He throw? If He say throw out of India also belongs to God. Out of Russia also belongs to God. Out of America, that also belongs to God. So in a way, Birbal was saying that don't think about your greatness. You are very limited. You have a small kingdom, but everything belongs to God. So He is the supreme proprietor, supreme controller. When we see our body, there are so many organs in our body which are functioning. those who are medical students can know better. So they are functioning, but then what is it that is being, something is controlling it, right? Some control is there in the body. Of course, we don't understand, but there has to be, otherwise how will it function? So we are also controllers, but we are controllers in a very tiny way. Like yesterday we were discussing, we can control certain things. But God is the supreme controller. So this is the definition of God, that He is the supreme source, He is the supreme proprietor, He is the supreme enjoyer, and He is the supreme controller. That is God, by definition. So, and at the same time, there is one more definition given by Parashar Muni, which says that God has 6 opulences in total, completeness. Like in this world, we have some opulences. Some are very beautiful, some are very wealthy, some are very famous, some are very knowledgeable, some are very renunciate. So Lord has 6 opulences. What are the opulences? One is beauty. And He has it in total, in completeness. Do you know any person in this world who's very rich, who's very famous, who's very knowledgeable, who's very beautiful, and who's very renounced at the same time? He has no attachment. Anyone? And he is very powerful also. All these 6 opulences, all in one person and in totality. I mean, nobody is as powerful as him, as wealthy as him, as beautiful as him. Have you seen any person like that? But God, by definition, is like that. He is most beautiful personality. He is most powerful personality. He is most knowledgeable personality. So whatever we can think of, knowledge, beauty, strength, or opulences, anything, or maybe renunciation also, fame also, God has everything. So now, by these definitions, tomorrow we are going to discuss who fits into this definition of God. Now we have just defined, He is a supreme controller, supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor, and supreme source. At the same time, He has all the 6 opulences. Tomorrow we will discuss who fits into this category. That means who is God. And then we will take the further topic also. Tomorrow we will take, is there one God or many God? That is the one topic we will discuss. Because if there is one God, there should be one religion. So why there are so many religion? Tomorrow we will discuss. Then, does God has form or He is formless? That is another question, right? Sometimes people say He is formless. Sometimes they say He has a form. So whether He is formless or He has form, we will discuss tomorrow. So first is, we will discuss that is there only one God or many God? God has form or He is formless? And who is God? That we will discuss tomorrow. And what is the need for so many religions? Because religion is the most confusing word. And especially in India, we have so many gods, right? We don't have only one God. We have variety. The whole mall is there. You can choose whichever you want. So what exactly is that? So, and another question we will answer tomorrow, very important. If there is only one God, what about all others? In India, we have so many names, right? So what about all of them? What is their position? Tomorrow we are going to discuss all these things in detail. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
For more such devotional programs, please watch Hare Krishna television. To get this channel, please contact your cable or DTH operator. For more information, please call 8767 845 845.